Alright, so this is going to be my little video tutorial, which I've been kind of delaying for a while due to laziness slash working and whatever. And this is going to teach you how to do quad jumping, which technically the term itself is something I just kind of coined. Not really a creative name, but technically it's not even accurate because okay, the trick itself is that if you do a spinning club swing in midair, you can cancel it with another series of jumps. And thus, you can just jump over and over indefinitely. So really it's an infinite jump, but for many parts of the speedrun for Ape Escape 3, you only really need to do it. You only really need to do a second set of jumps, so you do 4 jumps, aka a quad jump. So I'm just going to show you how to do this, how to do this series of movements that you need in order to do this sequence of extra jumps. And if you're really good, you can chain them indefinitely, and thus infinite jump. But for most, like practically, you don't really need to learn that way because it's slower, since you have net floating and whatnot. Anyways, I chose to do it here because this is the first real instance of any percent at least where quad jumping is actually used, because instead of riding these pumpkins, you can just hoop down here and quad jump up there and just save some time. And this is also the only place, I mean, not the only place, but this is a spot that you can only climb up this ledge with a quad jump. You can do it with the flyer as well, but you can't do it with any, like, weird... You can't just do it with 2 jumps, no matter how you do it. So, if you get up here, then you know that you did a quad jump, and you know that you did a good one at that, because you can get high enough... Like, you can still get quad jumps, but not get high enough. Not that this one's really hard, but this is a good place to go to practice because there's no enemies around. It's just a nice, easy place to do it. Anyways, the thing you have to do, in order to normally like when you're in midair, you can't spin the club like this. If you try to do it, you'll just swing the club. So in order to trick the game into allowing you to do a spin while in midair, you have to be selected on a separate gadget. I use the hoop just because, you can use other gadgets too, but the hoop is easiest because if you are spinning it in midair, you don't do any actions like pull out the slingshot or whatever. But what I do, I'll try and show here, is I just hold my stick to the left with my thumb while I have the hoop selected. And if you notice, while I'm running around, it's just kind of held to the left of me. And when I stop, you'll do that. Likewise, if I switch to club while I'm midair, it'll just buffer a swing because my stick's held to the left. And this is the key to doing the ground spin. Is it has to be anywhere but neutral position. You can do right or up or any direction as long as it's not in a neutral position. Now the thing is, after I do a double jump, if you notice, if I do a single jump and I'll switch, he'll just swing the club. But if I do it right after, if I switch right after my double jump, he won't swing the club, and it's because he has to do the animation for his double jump. And this is the time when you want to switch, is right after the double jump. So I like to use my left hand for this, by the way, just because it's really awkward to go from like square to triangle to jump and then spin the stick and all that. So while I'm playing, I'll just approach, oops, and I'll just switch my hand over. If I could do it. It's been a while, as I'm sure a lot of you could have guessed. But since, the thing is, you have to be... This trick's a lot easier to do if you're not moving with your jumps while you're doing it, by the way. So it's easy just to stop in place and then do it. You can do it while moving, but you can't be moving very far. Anyways, I should just explain the trick already. So I have the stick held left on the hoop. Right after I, do my double jump, I switch to the club. If you do this, like if you do your double jump, or you try to do this and he just swings, then you're switching to the club too soon. So after the double jump comes out, right afterwards, you want to do a full spin on the stick, like a full circle. I like to go left all the way to up just to be safe. I'll just go like this. And if you time it right, then he'll do a spin, and any time that he's spinning in midair, you see I'm doing the spin in midair now. Sometimes the animation will just be coming out like right there and there. Anytime during the spin animation you can cancel it, but ideally you want to cancel it as soon as it starts. And the reason I suggest doing just a full circle, like don't just spin it, just like do an actual coordinator, just full circle, is because as soon as you do a full circle, that's when he'll start the spin. So it's kind of a timing thing, where right after you do the full circle, he'll do the spin and you'll know when to jump. And this way you'll get a pretty much ideal quad jump, because you'll jump as soon as you can out of the animation. And if you're really quick, sometimes you almost, like there, you won't even notice that I'm even doing the spin animation. Or there. Because I'm doing it the instant that you can. But I'm gonna try and do this with the webcam just to make it easier. I'm not sure how much this is really helping or not. I thought I'd try throwing it out there with this. But again, I have the stick held left. I'm selected on the hoop. I use my left hand thumb to make this easier on me, because then I could just keep my right finger on the R1. But double jump, switch, and then right after the switch I do a full circle. Once I do that full circle, then I double jump. I'm gonna try and just show this off. Like that. Oops. But do you see how I just do like one swift circle? I don't spin it or anything, I just do a full circle, then I jump. Hopefully, I'm trying to watch XSplit while I'm doing this too, and it's throwing me off. But you can just do it while running, like that, just go on your way. You can do this with there's lots of ways you can do this, but this is the way I do it, because you don't really need to be, using your left hand for anything. You can just do this while stationary and not moving around, because it makes it a lot easier. But sometimes, like in the hot springs, you'll want to move the camera downwards, because if there's lag, or I could show that over here. This next area can be pretty laggy. The lag does affect the timing for the spin, in which case you might want to slow down how quickly you spin the stick, or you might want to spin the stick a little bit extra, like more than a full circle. Because sometimes, if you're in a really laggy area like this, the timing can be a lot harder. So you may want to, actually, what I'll do is, how do I do this again? I think I'll just I'll use one of my fingers to hold up on the D-pad to aim the camera straight down. This is the best way to reduce lag in this game, is to look straight down. Or straight up, but, straight down makes you actually be able to see where you are. But just do that, and then I'll use my index finger for my left hand to switch. And I mean, if you're really good at this trick, then you won't even have to do that, but it's something that might help you if you're in a laggy spot like in hot springs and you want to do it, but the lag's just making it unbearable for you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really know if there's anything else I should really clarify on. This trick is pretty simple, I think, once you get it down. It's kind of one of those tricks where you'll have your on and off days, back when I was doing runs of this, I was like, every time I would like start doing runs, I would like have to warm up to it again. Like I would forget how to do it, and I'd have to like take a couple minutes to like reacquaint myself with the timing for everything. But it's something that you could really easily get consistent once you practice the timing enough, or just try and keep the steps in mind. Like just, you know, if you're having trouble, just say, okay, what are all the steps I gotta take? Am I doing a full circle? Am I spinning it too fast? Am I switching to the club too soon? Just, like, every trick in, like, any speedrun's pretty much like that. Just, if you just think about it by doing each step at a time, then it makes it a lot simpler. Anyways, I might actually make a net float tutorial later if I feel like it, if anyone even wants to see it. But I figured I'd make this too, because I did promise some people I would make this, and I never got around to it. And I haven't been streaming anything, so I don't know, it's the least I could do. Anyways, thanks for watching, y'all. Hope this helps you out. If not, feel free to ask me stuff and, you know, in the comments below, or PM me, or whatever. You know how to reach me. Anyways, see y'all later.